I'll share the screen with you people. So today we will discuss about the multi-plate clutch. What is multi-plate clutch and all. Okay, in the last class we have discussed about the analysis of a single plate clutch, where we have seen that there are two theories which can be used for designing or finding out the dimensions of the uh, or finding out the torque to be transmitted with the help of a single plate clutch. Okay, so that is, the first is uniform pressure intensity, the other is uniform wear intensity. Then we discuss that which clutch is what is the failure of the clutch. Then after that we discuss that if you want to increase the power or the sorry, if you want to increase the transmission torque, then in that case you have to go for the multi-plate clutch. So this was the brief background. Now with this background, we'll first try to see what is the multi-plate clutch. So for that, the multi-plate clutch we will discuss here. This is what we have discussed previously. This is we discussed single plate clutch, working of single plate clutch. This is single plate clutch assembly. Now this is basically the multi-plate clutch assembly. Here if you see that there are many numbers of plates, the plates which are fitted to the crankshaft and plates which are there on these are the plates which are fitted. So if you see this section, complete section, so this is showing you the multiple plates of plates are used. That means there will be multiple surfaces which will be in contact, and that is how you increase the power transmission. This is as usual, instead of one surface, then you have multiple surfaces in contact. Okay, so that is the only purpose, so that you increase the power transmission. Then the working of multi-plate clutch, what it says, multi-plate clutch consists of number of clutch plates instead of only one clutch plate, as in case of a single plate clutch. As the number of clutch plates increase, number of friction surfaces, this I told you, is going to increase the capacity of the clutch for the transmission of the torque. The plates are alternately fixed to the engine shaft and gearbox shaft. So engine shaft is basically, we mean to say that this is the extension of the crankshaft. So that is basically the engine shaft. They are firmly pressed by strong coil springs and assembled in a drum. Each of the alternate plates slides in the groove on the flywheel, and other slides on the spline on the pressure plate. Thus, each alternate plate have inner and outer splines. Okay. The multi-plate clutch works in the same way as the single plate clutch by operating the clutch pedal. Now, multiple plate clutch is used in heavy vehicles, racing car, etc., for more torque transmission. The purpose is the logic is almost same as the single plate clutch. Only thing, you increase the number of the frictional surfaces so that you can increase the power torque transmission. So this is the principle of the multi-plate clutch. So we are going to write down some equations as far as the multi-plate clutch is concerned. So let us try to write down the equations for the multi-plate clutch, and then because Here the number of contacting surfaces, they play a role in the multiplate clutch. So wait just a moment. Om Prakash Pawar, क्या हुआ है? पवार ने ज्वाइन नहीं किया क्या? So we will be writing certain equations for the torque transmission. So it is for the multi-plate clutch. So to have n pairs of contact surface, please note that for multi-plate clutch we are writing this Venkata Sai Kishore. It says that to have n pairs of contact surfaces, comma, there must be n plus 1 number of discs or plates. See, usually you will find that in case of multi-plate clutch problem, the major issue happens with the number of the contacting pairs. Okay, so we have to write down one formula, but still in book, if you read, you will find that there is always a confusion regarding the number of contact surface. So I tried to make it clear so that there should not be any issue. Okay, so now it says that if Na is equals to number of disc on driving shaft. A driving shaft means the shaft connected to crankshaft. Shaft connected to crankshaft, because ultimately from there we are going to take the power, and NB is equals to number of disc on driven shaft. Then number of pairs of contact surfaces are then number of pairs of contact surfaces are N is equals to Na plus Nb minus of 1. Okay, so please keep this thing in mind. This is the important relationship. If you have any confusion, then in that case what you have to do is just use this equation blindly, or whatever is the data which is given to you, you use that, so that there will not be any confusion as the number of can say contacting pairs. Okay, so now the torque transmitted, then the expression for torque transmission using uniform wear theory, we can just write down the expression. T is equal to N, coefficient of friction, W, So this expression is same as previous, R1 plus R2 divided by 2, bracket complete. Here n is coming into picture. That is the only change. Okay. So for single plate clutch, it is mu W R1 plus R2 by 2. And for a multi-plate clutch, it is this particular expression. So is this clear? Anybody is having any issue as far as this is concerned? Sir, sometimes this R1 plus R2, this is also termed as the mean radius as well. In some books, you will find this is also used, R1 plus R2 divided by 2. So please keep this thing in mind. Okay. So सर ये अगर क्लियर हो गया है तो एखादा सर इसमें प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे क्या सर? यस और नो सर? चलो एक छोटा सा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करके देखते, क्योंकि ये काफी गड़बड़ वाली चीज रहती है. Now let us try to solve one simple problem. A disc clutch Aditya Bhuskar. A disc clutch consists of 5 discs giving a total 4 pairs of contact surfaces. 4 pairs of contact surfaces. The outside diameter of contact surface is the outside diameter of the contact surface is to be of 27.9 centimeter and inside is 17.8 centimeters. Full stop. Determine the pressure. Determine the pressure with which the disc must be held together. The disc must be held together if 37 kilowatt power is to be transmitted at 700 rpm. Assume mu equals to 0.3. तो सर ये थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम पढ़िए. A disc clutch consists of 5 discs. Okay, so total Na plus Nb here given as 5 discs. Na plus Nb is equals to 5. A total 4 pairs of contact surface. That means N is equals to 4. the outside diameter of the contact surface is to be, so R1 is equals to 27.9 divided by 2 centimeters, and R2, which is inner diameter, is given as 17.8 divided by 2 centimeter. Determine the pressure with which, so P we need to find out, okay, with which the disc must be held together if power which has to be transmitted is 37 kilowatt, is to be transmitted at N is equal to 700 RPM. Assume mu to be coefficient of friction 0.3 दिया हुआ. तो सर इसको अभी सीधा सीधा फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे. सो कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट इज द एक्सप्रेशन? सर पहले तो ये पूरे असेंबली से टॉर्क टू बी ट्रांसमिटेड निकालते सर. टॉर्क टू बी transmitted, this is equal to power divided by 2 pi n. Is that right sir? तो पावर आपको दी है सर 37 इंटू 10⁻³ डिवाइडेड बाय 2 इंटू पाई इंटू n. n अभी आरपीएस में चाहिए, तो 700 डिवाइडेड बाय 60, बिकॉज ये दिया हुआ है आपको आरपीएम में. तो सर बताइए कि टॉर्क टू बी ट्रांसमिटेड कितना होगा सर? 504 न्यूटन मीटर. चलो ठीक है, 504.75, 504.75 न्यूटन मीटर. So this is the torque. So what is the expression for the torque? तो सर अभी एक्सप्रेशन कैसा निकालेंगे सर इसका? So T is equal to इफेक्टिव क्लच का, ठीक है, T is equals to अभी ऐसा लिखते हैं, हाफ म्यू W, that is axial load, into R1 plus R2. तो सर ये कितना दिया है आपको? टॉर्क कितना दिया हुआ है? 504.75 is equals to हाफ म्यू is 0.3, W निकालना है. R1 plus R2 ये 2 इंटू कितना करेंगे? 27.9. R1 plus R2 हाफ ऑलरेडी दिया हुआ है, प्लस 17.8 whole thing multiplied by 10⁻³ -2 ब्रैकेट कंप्लीट. सर यहाँ से मुझे W का वैल्यू बताइए कितना आता है? तो ऋषिकेश, अथर्व, दुर्गे, W comes out to be, इतना ज्यादा आता है W? 3683 is correct. 3681, 6381 सर थोड़ी सी अथर्व आपके इसमें गड़बड़ हो गई है. So W is equal to 3681.62 Newton. So load carried by each effective surface. So load carried by each effective surface, टोटल सर 8 रहेगा, W by 8, so 3681.62 डिवाइडेड by 8. क्योंकि सर यहाँ उसने n इज इक्वल टू 4 दिया है, दैट मीन्स 4 पेयर्स, दिस इज इक्वल टू 8 सरफेसेस. ठीक है, तो सर W का ये कितना आएगा सर? 460.4 न्यूटन. सर चेक करिए इसको, 406.2 या 4, चलो ठीक है. Hence the pressure on each effective surface. hence pressure on each effective surface that is equals to W by 8 वाला कॉन्सेप्ट रहेगा, W by 8 यानी यही वैल्यू रहेगी, डिवाइडेड बाय पाई इंटू R1 स्क्वायर माइनस R2 स्क्वायर। तो सर ये आएगा 460.2 या 4 ले लो, चलो 2 ले लो, बाय R1 का वैल्यू कितना है सर? R1 का वैल्यू है 27.9 इंटू 10⁻⁻2 डिवाइडेड बाय 2 इसका स्क्वायर माइनस 17.9 इंटू 10⁻⁻2 डिवाइडेड बाय 2 का स्क्वायर। तो सर ये बोलिए सर कितना वैल्यू आता है तो इसका? Sir, can you get the value of this? सर बताइएगा कि ये वैल्यू सर मेरे कैलकुलेशन से 1.386 इंटू 10⁻⁴ न्यूटन पर मीटर स्क्वायर इतनी आती है सर वैल्यू 12694। ये सर थोड़ा सा देखिएगा कि मेरे तरफ से तो गड़बड़ नहीं है, ये वैल्यू जस्ट चेक कीजिएगा कि वैल्यू कितनी आती है। 12799 ओके ठीक है, जो भी आती है वैल्यू। तो सर ये हो गया मल्टीप्लेट क्लच का एक आधा प्रॉब्लम, ऐसे सॉल्व करते हैं। नाउ अभी सर हम लोग थोड़ा सा कोन क्लच के बारे में जानेंगे, फिर कोन क्लच के बारे में जानने के बाद कुछ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे एंड देन दी सेंट्रीफ्यूगल क्लच। कोन क्लच का भी प्रॉब्लम है तो देखेंगे सर कि हम लोग अभी कितने प्रॉब्लम आखिरी में सॉल्व करेंगे। तो ठीक है, तो कोन क्लच के बारे में जानेंगे सर। 3681 is a watt per each surface sir। हाँ तो क्या हुआ, अपना कुछ कैलकुलेशन गड़बड़ है क्या दुर्गी? 3681 is a W each surface sir, because it is obtained after dividing by 4। कहाँ सर डिवाइडिंग बाय 4 कहाँ किया हमने? कुछ भी तो नहीं किया। ये 3684 डिवाइडेड बाय 4 तो कहीं नहीं किया सर हमने, सरफेस ही नहीं, ये यहाँ n नहीं यूज किया सर ये इक्वेशन में। In this equation we have not, because it is obtained after dividing by 4। No, we are talking about the total this thing as a unit, where we have not divided it by number of the contacting surface, number of pairs of the contacting surface। No, Pradyuman, you please see the calculation. See, torque transmitted, this is basically the power 2 pi nt, and then we consider this up till now, till finding out W, we have considered it as the single, without n it is 1426। No, just check this। Please check the calculations। okay, सो आगे बढ़े क्या सर? जिनको भी डाउट है, मैंने आपको ये सॉल्यूशन दिया हुआ है, इसको सर चेक करिएगा, भूल जाइएगा कि देयर आर 4 कॉन्टैक्ट सरफेसेस। मान लो कि एक ही प्लेट है करके, एक ही कॉन्टैक्ट सरफेस है, उसके लिए कैसे करेंगे? तो हमने ये पोर्शन तक के, ये जो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड वाला जो पोर्शन है, ये W जो है, वी अश्यूम टिल दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट that there is only one contact surface। So after getting this W, we divided it by 8। So please take care of this।
Hello, sir.
Yeah।
Sir, actually W should be 14726.4. That 3681, we got it by dividing by 4. When we used n, then we get 3681. If we don't use N, then we get 14726.47.
नहीं सर, अभी ये मुझे बताइए, ये टॉर्क ट्रांसमिटेड करेक्ट है क्या? 504.75 अथर्व।
हाँ सर, हाँ सर, ये
ये
करेक्ट
चलो,
है
ये करेक्ट है। तो यहाँ 504 का वैल्यू डालने के बाद W का वैल्यू कितना आता है, ये एक्सप्रेशन में बताइए सर।
सर।
हाफ।
ये 14726.47 आना चाहिए था। एक्चुअली मैंने वो N भी कंसीडर किया था फॉर्मूला में करके
ये
3681
14 कितना आना चाहिए? 726।
0.47।
14726.47, यानी चलो 5 ले लेते। ठीक है, ये मेरे पास नहीं है कैलकुलेशन करके, मैंने आपको पूछा। तो सर ये जो वैल्यू है, ये वैल्यू आपकी आएगी 14726.5 न्यूटन। एम आई करेक्ट? अभी कोई गड़बड़ है?
नो सर।
हाँ, तो अगर इसको हमने डिवाइड कर दिया तो अभी ये वैल्यू जो होगी ये चेंज होगी, यानी ये वैल्यू जाएगी यहाँ पे, तो ये वैल्यू होगी आपकी 3681.62। नाउ इट इज करेक्ट, ये नहीं रहेगी। दिस इज व्हाट यू मीन टू से?
नो, W/8 would be 1840.81।
नहीं सर, ये एक बार, ये मेरे पास कैलकुलेटर नहीं है, तो मेरे पास जो भी है आपको आपके ऊपर रिलाय करना पड़ेगा। तो ये प्रॉब्लम सर फिर से सॉल्व करिए, नहीं तो अपन नेक्स्ट इसमें डिसाइड करते। आई विल डू दी कैलकुलेशन बिकॉज राइट नाउ आई डोंट हैव कैलकुलेटर।
ओके सर।
Okay, so I request all people to please recheck this problem because I don't have the final answer with me which is very correct. Okay, because I don't have calculator, so I can't verify it. So recheck, maybe we can take this problem in the next class, so don't worry about it. See, the idea is we need to find out W. There may be some issue with this W, but don't worry, the formula which we have used is correct. Consider that it is only a single plate clutch, and using that thing you calculate what is the W you are getting, divide it by number of contacting surfaces, because each W is will be shared by the number of contacting surfaces, we assume that. Then once you get small W, which is per plate, divided by available area, that is going to give us the pressure. So that is the only idea by which we can solve this. So sir, I hope you have understood this issue. So recheck for कैलकुलेशंस। ओके, तो सर ये करिएगा, हम लोग और ज्यादा इस पे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे। तो पहले अभी हम लोग कौन क्लच डिस्कस कर लेते सर, चले क्या? कौन क्लच डिस्कस करें सर? या चलो, सो सर कौन क्लच के लिए आई शिफ्ट टू दी प्रेजेंटेशन, क्योंकि कौन क्लच का फिगर निकालने में काफी समय लगेगा। सो we'll shift it here. थोड़ा सा इसको उठा के सरका देते हैं। ये तो मैकेनिकल वाला हमने तो देख लिया, क्लच बाय वायर, हाँ, कोन क्लच। सो दिस इज बेसिकली दी कोन क्लच। इसके पहले क्या दिया हुआ है? क्लच बाय वायर। चलो ठीक है, ये भी बात कर लेते हैं। ठीक है, ये क्लच ऑपरेशन ऑपरेशन मेथड्स देख लेते हैं। We have already seen that you can operate the clutch by mechanical means, by hydraulic operation, by electromagnetic operation, by vacuum operation, and by clutch wire. So this clutch wire and mechanical means we have already discussed. Now hydraulic operation, where I told you that you can use the hydraulic cylinder, but if the circuit is given, let us check it. So this clutch linkage, basically the mechanical type. Here mechanical type I told you that this is basically by usage of the linkage. Now you see that there is linkages which are used, and this is the clutch pedal. So once you plate the clutch pedal, the force or the driver's effort, they get transmitted through the mechanical means, that is by using spring and the linkages, and thereby you disengage the clutch, because once you press the clutch pedal, the clutch plate, they separate out, there is no power transmission. So this is the layout of the linkage mechanism. Please understand that the problem with the mechanical linkage is you have to take care of the wear of the linkages and some play with the usage of the mechanism, because some wear will be there, so there will be some play in the clutch pedal. That means what do you mean by play? Play is basically when you press the clutch pedal, the clutch is not disengaging to your expectation. Okay, so you need to apply some more effort to compensate for the you can say play which has come into the linkages. So this is the linkage type mechanical actuation of the clutch. Then most commonly used is the hydraulic means. As I told you that this is very similar to operation of the brake. So you use the hydraulic pressure the moment you apply the brake, clutch effort to the clutch pedal. Then the master cylinders, the master piston in the master cylinder will apply the force, and that fluid will be the fluid will be passed. Fluid under pressure will be actuating the clutch so that you can disengage the clutch. So this is the mechanism. Now this mechanism is used in so many vehicles. Even I have seen that this kind of mechanism people use in most of the cars. So the problem with these kinds of mechanism which are based on the hydraulic system is you have to be very careful as to the level and the leakage of the hydraulic fluid. So one, if that fluid leakage is happening or there is some degradation in the properties of the fluid, then in that case the effectiveness of the mechanism will not be the same as it used to be with the new fluid. So that is the only issue with the hydraulic fluid. So because at how many locations you are going to use the hydraulic fluid. So सर सबसे पहले हमने देखा कि हाइड्रोलिक स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम में, पावर स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम में आप एक फ्लूइड यूज करते हो, इंजन ऑयल एक दूसरा फ्लूइड है, गियर बॉक्स में ऑयल डालते हैं वो कूल करने के लिए, गियर बॉक्स में जो हीट जनरेट होती है वो तीसरा ऑयल है, चौथा ऑयल जो है वो आप ब्रेक फ्लूइड के लिए डालते हो इफ यू आर यूजिंग हाइड्रोलिक ब्रेक, दैट इज फोर्थ. द फिफ्थ वन इज फॉर योर दिस थिंग hydraulic clutch. The fifth one, the sixth one fluid which you use in the engine coolant, so that is the fifth one. So likewise, you have to be very careful if there is any leakage in these particular systems, then that is going to add inefficiency, and there is no fail-safe mode for this thing to operate the system in the event of the failure. In the event of the failure, पूरा system ही ठप हो जाएगा. So that we need to take care of that. And every fluid you have to use, you have to change that particular fluid after running for certain 5,000 or 10,000 kilometers. Okay, so that becomes the addition that adds to the maintenance cost of the vehicle. So now clutch by wire, this is going to be the new way of operating the clutch, and there is no need of any mechanical linkages, and you can use it by using the electronics in the vehicle. So in this system, there is no mechanical link between the clutch and the pedal. The clutch pedal is electronically controlled. This is by potentiometer, or you can say LVDT type of sensors are there. The moment you press the clutch pedal, it will sense the displacement of the pedal, and based on that displacement, the input is given for the operation of the clutch. Okay, so as I was telling you in previous classes also, if you use the modern vehicle which is having all these kinds of system, the fly-by-wire and all those things, so almost 3,200 sensors are to be used in the vehicle. And if you see, and the problem with the sensors is your sophistication level is very high, but the moment if the sensor parameters they drifted away from the original one due to some reason, because of the temperature or because of the excessive, you can say, torque which is applied for fitment of that, then there is no repair available for the sensors. You have to replace the sensor by the equivalent sensor, and for that, how the roadside mechanic, they cannot repair the vehicle. You have to put that vehicle into service station. Then there are OBD softwares available. The dealership people, service people will connect the complete system to the laptop, and the particular softwares regarding the ECU will detect that which sensor is not functioning as per the expectation. So you have to replace that. The cost of replacement is more. This is the problem with the sophisticated you can say electronics which you use in the vehicle. Okay, so usually see देखो धीरे धीरे ये जो रोड साइड वाले गैरेज है nowadays also they do not touch the vehicle inside system. That means they will not touch transmission, they will not touch engines, they will only do the peripheral one. Okay, because they can't buy these softwares, because if they have to repair the vehicles, let us say from Maruti, Hyundai, Tata or Kia, then for every vehicle they have to buy the software, then install that, and what is the guarantee? The investment becomes huge. Okay, so day by day these roadside mechanics, they will be limited to only the exhaust system welding, then some fitment, then the outer you can say sheet metal work, painting, denting. So these kinds of job they are doing now also. If you go, then they are in a position to repair the old car but not the new one. Okay, and nobody would like to put their new car to them. So that is basically the drawback. That means the drawback why I am saying so, because the monopoly lies with the dealer. Okay, so he should have the technical manpower to cater the need. So coming to the clutch by wire system, the clutch pedal is electronically controlled by means of electron control unit and actuator. A sensor on the pedal measures. Again, the sensor comes. Okay, see, I'm not against the sensor. I'm just telling you that how the cost of the vehicle is getting increased by the use of the sensor, and there is no guarantee that the sensor will have one particular life. Okay, so on the pedal measures the exact position which is transmitted to ECU. Then it does the usual work. तो ECU में आप एक onion map feed किए रहते हुए, and then the ECU tries to send the signal which is optimized for that particular point. This has to be done in certain nanoseconds rather than milliseconds. Okay, which then operates the clutch through the actuator. Advantages are improved drivability, better pedal feel, and less wear due to absence of mechanical linkages. So please understand that wear is going to be the issue as far as the wear is as far as the issue if you are talking about the mechanical linkages. So shifting now, we will be discussing the cone clutch. Now cone clutch consists of two cones, one internal cone fixed to the driven shaft and another cone fitted on the, this is the cone driving shaft. It has to be there, and then this you need to correct. Okay, so that is why I am little bit hesitant in sending the PowerPoint presentation. So whatever PowerPoint presentations I'll be sending to you, please make the appropriate corrections. So this has to be on the drive. The first is on the drive shaft, the other one is on the driven shaft. So please be careful. Please correct it. This is the typo mistake. Okay, so it is on. The operating lever used only for disengagement of the clutch. The main advantage of cone clutch over the disc clutch is very simple and require less axial pressure to disengage the clutch. Okay, so he is saying that very less axial pressure is required to disengage the clutch. This happens due to the wedging action. But let me tell you that practically the cone clutch, they are not used in any of the vehicle because it has got certain advantages. Sorry, certain disadvantages. So let us try to understand what is a cone clutch. So this is the figure of the cone clutch. This is the green color part is the female part that you call, and this is the wedge action, which is a cone. And this is basically when these two surfaces they come in contact with each other, the power is getting transmitted because of the wedge action. Okay, so that is basically the concept. This is fitted on the crankshaft and the other one is fitted on the clutch shaft, and this is the lever for operation of the clutch. So this is the cone clutch, it has shown in the figure. Let us see if we have some other force. Okay, now just try to read. No, this is the centrifugal clutch. So since, please note that this clutch is not there in use, I have not discussed much, but if you want, we can write down the equation for the transmission of the power using the cone clutch. I will draw the figure for you so that you should know that there is something which is called as the cone clutch. It is used in the practice. So I'll again shift to the blackboard. तो सर आपको कौन क्लच तो समझ गया सर, यहाँ तो मेरे पास वो फिगर नहीं है जो हम लोग निकालते हैं थियरी में. सो आई विल ड्रॉ द फिगर ऑफ द कोन क्लच. सो कोन क्लच फिगर ड्रॉ करके बताता हूँ सर. सर ये फिगर ना आपको स्केच वैसे ड्रॉ करते आनी चाहिए, बिकॉज इन एग्जामिनेशन आई यूजुअली ask regarding the sketching of this particular thing, because in most of the automotive industry the sketching skill is required if you are working with them. Nowadays there are shortage of the engineers in automotive industry, because most of the engineers prefer to join some tech companies. So sir, ये जो है, तो आपको थोड़ा सा अगर जॉब प्रोस्पेक्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में करना है, दैट इज बेटर इवन इफ यू वांट टू डू योर एमबीए. But I will still say that do your first job in automotive industry so that you will learn about the what is happening in our mechanical industry. Okay, तो सर आप बेशक जॉब करो टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनी में, बट don't underestimate the other industries. Given a choice, how many of you would like to work in the mechanical industry? Honestly, raise the hand. Okay, Saurabh has raised the hand. तो सर कितने लोगों को गिवन अ चॉइस दे आर रेडी टू वर्क विद द मैकेनिकल इंडस्ट्री? काफी लोग बोल रहे हैं सर, लेकिन ये सीन आपका फाइनल ईयर में जाते जाते चेंज हो जाएगा. आई विल सी द प्लेसमेंट. और जिनको भी मैकेनिकल इंडस्ट्री में प्लेसमेंट मिला है सर, एक काम करेंगे, मैं उनको बोलूंगा कि भाई आप मुझे मिलिएगा. See, it's not that I am against any of the industry. See, industry is industry as long as it is providing us the job. Okay, so no industry is bad, but nowadays what I see that most of the people, they wanted to get the job in the technology company, because then they see that कि वहाँ पैसा काफी ज्यादा है. सर मैंने तो कभी टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनी में काम नहीं किया, मैंने तो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग ओरिएंटेड कंपनी में काम किया है सर. So I don't know exactly how what is the work culture and other things, but I have worked almost in similar kind of environment, that is R&D, where you are very privileged people in the industry. If you say that you work in the R&D, then most of the people will look at you as if you have designed something and you get the opportunity to design that. आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है सर डिजाइन करने के लिए. So I am very fortunate person who got the opportunity to see the development of the Scorpio engine from scratch. Okay, so That way I consider myself very lucky, because very few people they get this opportunity. So this is how the layout of the cone clutch. This is only for the purpose of the understanding how the cone clutch is. So this is basically the part which is fitted to the crankshaft end of the shaft. Okay. And sir, I have seen lot many German people. They are very good as far as the sketching is concerned. We are that way. We are not that much good as far as the sketching is concerned. Means at least I am not that good. So I always felt jealous and inferior in front of the people who used to come from Germany as a consultant. And though we are good in technical sense, so this is basically the called as the female cone. Then this is the male cone. You can say that this radius and this radius is taken to be R2 from this, and this is taken as R1. This is the engine shaft, and the contact angle of this with the horizontal. So this angle, if you say from horizontal, ये अगर आपने हॉरिजॉन्टल से देखा तो ये है एंगल आपका, this angle is alpha, and this is the spring. You apply the load W here, axial load, and these are the splines. Okay, this is basically the clutch shaft. Okay, so this is they say that the common term which they use is practically obsolete. This is alpha is called as the semi-cone angle. Semi-cone angle. This is and width. This you can say W or small b. This is given as R1 minus R2 divided by sine of alpha, and this is the axial force for the engagement. So usually alpha is less than 20 degrees. Okay, so the problem is the effectiveness of clutch, that is the cone clutch is practically obsolete. Okay, so this is practically obsolete clutch, because due to frequent engaging and disengaging, there becomes the clearance, so that there will not be any kind of proper contact between the wedges. So that is the problem with the a small amount of wear on clutch surface result considerable axial moment. So the problem with this cone clutch is small amount of wear on clutch surface results considerable axial movement. तो सर ये कौन क्लच अभी यूज होता नहीं है. Just give me 2 minutes. I will write down the equation, so that in the next class we will able to solve the problems. So torque transmission, I will write down the equation. कोन क्लच के लिए सर, ये कोन क्लच आपने यहाँ नहीं पढ़ा होगा सर, थियरी ऑफ मशीन्स में नहीं पढ़ा है, तो पढ़ा है क्या सर? Have you studied cone clutch? So axial load W इसका एक्सप्रेशन है पाई P in bracket R1 square minus R2 square. Then torque, frictional torque is equals to 2 by 3 mu W divided by sine of alpha in bracket R1 cube minus R2 cube divided by R1 square minus R2 square, bracket complete. This is also written as mu WR. Okay, R is mean effective radius, बचा हुआ जो है वो सब R है. So R का वैल्यू है इधर 2 by 3 1 by sine of alpha in bracket R1 cube minus R2 cube divided by R1 square minus R2 square. Then यूनिफॉर्म वियर वाला थियरी जो है उसके हिसाब से वियर थियरी, यूनिफॉर्म वियर थियरी, W is equals to 2 pi C in bracket R1 minus R2. Torque T is equals to 1 by mu divided by sine of alpha W in bracket R1 plus R2, bracket complete. Here your C is equals to P into R. This R is given as P into R1 plus R2 divided by 2, bracket complete. Okay. The wedging action increase the effectiveness of the cone clutch so that normal force on the lining increases. So this is basically the idea of using the cone clutch. So if anybody is having any doubt, please do ask. Sir, tomorrow we are going to have the examinations, objective type examination after the practical class as suggested by your class representative. So sir, किसी को अभी कुछ doubt है क्या? Sir, if you have doubt, please ask. If you do not have any doubt, then you may leave the meeting. See, I have every day I get only 60 candidates. All the 60, sorry, there is the registration was 70. So I don't know if somebody has left. Tomorrow I will come to know, but convey this message in the group that tomorrow we will have the examination after the practical class. Yeah, thank you. Over from my side. Course of examination will be the complete thing from first class to today's class. Just browse through that. It will be MCQ type of exam. Yeah. Thanks. Over from my side.